Hello, welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews. It's Gaming Friday. I'm Gary.
And I'm having flashbacks to an 11-year-old me who got this game and thought, oh, this'll be fun.
You ready for some more trauma, Ian? As we return to The Heart of Darkness, which came out in 1998 on the PlayStation and on PC. It was developed by Amazing Studio. And this is the only game that Amazing Studio ever made.
Yeah, and they'll always be remembered for that.
It was developed by Eric Chahi, and he made a legendary game in the game industry. He made Another World back in 1991.
That's an amazing game, I love that.
And so this game is almost a spiritual successor to it, as in this was the next game that he would work on that has a very similar feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of screen by screen based puzzle action adventure.
Yes.
And this is a cinematic platform game, and you play as Andy, a young boy, as he tries to save his dog Whiskey, who gets captured by the Spectres, which are like shadow-like creatures.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, this game, it has about 30 to 35 minutes of FMVs, of cutscenes.
Yeah.
That pretty much make up hundreds of thousands of 2D animated frames, although a lot of the backgrounds will be kind of pre-rendered.
Yeah.
There we are with the Heart of Darkness title. Now, one of the first things you'll notice with this game is how kind of lush the graphics are. The CGI work at the time was outstanding.
I mean, every time I look at this game and remember what it was like to play this game for the first time, I fall in love with it again. Yeah. But, part of me is like, no, don't go back. Don't go back. And I'm like, but look, it's such good... It's like a movie.
Absolutely,
it's like I'm watching an animated movie back in the 90s again. I'm a kid again. I'm going on this adventure story. But just like with this teacher, there's a horribleness to this game. There's an evil in it. The guy who designed this game was like,
he wanted to inflict his pain upon the world, and he did it through a cute, cartoonish animation.
But it's so real as well. I mean, I'm not saying I had school like that, but I do remember...
shoved in the cupboard at school.
Well, I do remember...
That's how they do things in French schools.
I do remember a teacher looking like that, giving me grief one day, and me just wanting to get home and play video games. But I didn't have a dog, which is a shame, but I did have ginger hair.
All along. And so, there's your dog, Whiskey.
I've got to... So you got to relive all this again, because... when you get to the game can and will be punishing.
Oh yeah, this is a nightmarishly difficult game, and then you just you see looking at this animation now, you're just like, this is amazing for the time.
Yeah.
When I first got this game, I was like, wow, I've not seen animation like this at the beginning of a game, not for this extended duration either.
Yeah, I mean, I got this on the PlayStation 1. It was 2 discs, borrowed it off of a friend. And this made me feel like I had my own PC with how good the graphics were.
Right.
I'm like, man, look how good that is. I mean, the dog, I'm looking at his tail.
Well, no, the animation by today's standards is awful. This is aged really poorly.
I don't know.
The in-game animations still fantastic, but these pre-rendered ones, this is what I think is aged badly. Don't get me wrong, the story and the music and the characters are still great.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the eclipse now, and this is where the creatures come through.
Yeah, it should also be said that Andy as well, the main character, the boy, he has a natural fear of darkness, and so him being locked in the cupboard, it would evoke his fear of the dark.
Because in the manual as well, there was like this whole backstory. I remember back in the day, you had to read the manual to get the introduction to the game of why you were here, what's he doing. Now Andy is... He's so upset, but he's determined. He has to get his dog back. Yeah. And he goes back and designs...
Well, he already has his own spacecraft.
Oh,
in his treehouse.
Because he's a super genius as well. I totally forgot he's a super genius.
But then it all leads to is this really happening, or is this just one boy's wild imagination?
That's what you get from the ending of the game. Because I did complete this game. This is why I'm kind of also taking in this whole moment before I get into it.
I gave up on this game. I never finished it.
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't have a lot of games back then, so when I got a game, I had to play it to completion.
Yeah.
You know, I had to do like
YouTube.
yeah, every setting. You know, when I borrowed a game, you know, and your friends back then were like, you can only borrow it for a week, or my parents will give me grief. You know, I'm like, okay, I've got a week to complete this game.
Yeah.
And like I said, I pushed through this game. I want to get.
It's kind of got like a Robert Zemeckis feel from this opening.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, like the old adventure animations from back in the day. Like, look at that.
Yeah, it's great. Well, it's actually Steven Spielberg approached Eric Chahi about making a movie adaptation of this. But unfortunately, the rights fell through. You know, the company moved on, and then
we missed out there. Should have made a sequel.
Well, this game has an incredibly long development cycle, a very troubled one as well.
Okay,
which resulted in Eric Chahi kind of leaving the video game business altogether because of the hell that was making this game. They started production on this in 1992, so that's 6 years that the game was in development for. Originally, the game was going to be exclusive to PC. Then it was going to be exclusive to the 3DO.
I can see it.
By the time this game was nearing development, you know, the 3DO was a dead console.
Yep.
Then they tried to make conversions of the game for the Amiga CD32 and the Atari Jaguar CD.
But they were dead too.
They became dead. And then in 1996, Sega signed an exclusivity deal for the Sega Saturn. Then this game took even longer to get developed, and it kind of became a bit of a joke in the video game industry.
Really?
You know, a lot of people said that the game looked great, but they were fears at the time of the game already being dated. And so by the time the game was completed, the Sega Saturn was also not commercially viable as a console. And so funding for the game was cut.
Run!
So the developers of the game worked for nearly 9 months without pay in order to get the game finished.
I got eaten.
Which, you know, it's commitment to them. They had faith in this game to work for 9 months without pay.
Wow.
Just to get the game out there. And of course then it would come to PlayStation and to PC.
See, now a lot of those games that they tried to sell it for, they were
those consoles.
They were dead before they'd even established themselves.
They only had a couple of years on the market before. there was not enough support, not enough games.
I mean, they were all pre PlayStation, as well. And then when Sony hit with the PlayStation, I can see now this being predated at the time. You know, people would have rather have played Resident Evil and died a lot than played this.
Well, the thing is that at the time this game actually came out, you didn't see 2D platformer games like this anymore.
No.
They were all 3D environments.
Yeah.
You know, and so it wasn't just dated looking, it was dated gameplay by you know, AAA standards.
Yeah.
But I still think this game did fairly well on its release just because of the art style, because of the design.
That's why I fell in love with it, because at the time I blasted through all the classics. You know, all the ones that we talk about, you know, they're all amazing. I blasted through them, and we all did. And I needed something else. You know, like I said, in my childhood, I needed another game to obviously while the days away. I fell, rabbit, goddamn things. And I got this game, and it punished me. And
unlike most other games for kids, you know, they're like, this game kills you on its first screen.
And you just keep going back. You know, you can save it, and the game saves at the last screen you were on.
Yeah.
Which sometimes can be like 2 screens back from where you died, and you frustratingly turned off your PlayStation in frustration and stormed downstairs. But when you come back to it and you persevere that extra, I think that's what made me a better gamer in the future. You know, it made me say, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to die over 100 times, but I'm going to do this.
Right.
You know, and when I do it that first time, it's still going to be...
It's still so satisfying when you do it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's like this game is tough, but Do you ever play Halo on Legendary?
Oh yeah.
That's tough. Gears on Insane? That's tough. You know, but you needed something.
This is such a shame here because he's just taken your proton
pack. I
I know.
know. He's just like, you're now weaponless. And now the game, this is where you really got to start using your brain as a gamer, because there are going to be on-screen puzzles. Run! If you don't run there, they eat you. Everything will kill you. This will kill you. Every screen will kill you. Every piece of environment will kill you. The water, the flowers, the bugs. If it's on screen, run.
Yeah.
You know, and if you can't run, then you need to work out. There we go.
You need to get into behind some light.
Yeah, or hide yourself in. I never got a chance to play Another World when it first came out, but I always like to go back and try that game, and that is as punishing as this.
Absolutely, yeah.
But still, you know, its graphics are dated, but it still kind of holds a nostalgic.
Oh, absolutely! Another World is a treasure of a game, and I think this one, you know, this is an overlooked game as well. It's not really, you know, by today's standards, it doesn't have the recognition, but I'm sure there are those that have the nostalgia for it, or would also recognise this game, which caused them the trauma.
I would totally say, if you're a gamer, you need to complete this. Why I should have gone up? I thought there was grips of it. You need to complete this, because
this game takes skill. And a good dose of luck as well.
But you know how people say about game violence, you know, computer games can entice you to, you know, want to go out and
do
horrible things. You know, this is a game to a testament of that, because it will stress you out. It will annoy you. It will make you want to smack your computer and all that kind of stuff. But then you get past it. And like I said, you know, I grew up to take my time with games and say, actually, you know, it's just a game.
Yeah.
You know, I can turn this game off and walk away, but what does that really complete? Anything? I think
it saves your sanity.
Yeah, but then you just move on to another hard game, you know, and
see, you know, I sometimes accuse this game of being cheap with its enemy placements, or the way that it works.
Totally.
With the randomness of your attacks and how the enemy sort of responds.
Oh yeah.
You just need to jump here a couple of times.
Yeah, I know.
No, just jump on the spot, Ian.
Oh. I thought I was jumping over that spine thing.
You need to break the platform that you're on.
So you need somebody as well to tell you all the little hints, so you can think of all this. Right, okay. But yeah, you just gone back to that previous screen.
Yeah,
come back in.
Death is very much a part of this game. It's part of the learning experience of, that didn't work, let me try this. But then it's, even when you know what to do, that's when you start to get frustrated, because the game's just denying you. You know, just with the enemy placements, or with the fact that you've jumped and you should have grabbed that platform, but your character didn't. It's like, what? Why?
Because just
jump on the spot a couple of times.
Bang.
Oh, there you
go. Whoa. There we go. Yes, sweet.
Sometimes it is just a case of trial and error, experimentation.
Yeah, man.
And you just kind of hope that when you get to the next screen, that will be your checkpoint, because the game doesn't ever tell you. Yeah, checkpoint it here.
Yeah. When I've got to run. Should have jumped. Should I?
Yeah.
Should have jumped. See, I thought of this game when I first saw you playing Dark Souls.
Right.
And you were playing Dark Souls, and you were saying about how punishing it was and devastating, and it is, and it was. But I.
Very good.
You know, I just when I was thinking, Ian, if you can do Hard Darkness, you can do Dark Souls.
Right.
Left. Go left, aren't I? Go for that. Oh no, go up there. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, up that way. Right. Well, there we go. There we go. Make a bridge.
See, a lot of the puzzles in the game are pretty simplistic. And a lot of them are a case of, you know, there's buttons that you have to step on, or then there's buttons that you have to lure enemies to step on, so that it opens pathways and gateways.
That just coming in there.
Perspective changing.
Yeah, just wow. You got to get
the whole world, and there's the heart of darkness in there, where the Shadow Lord, I guess, resides.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like a whole kind of Abe's Odyssey ecosystem going on in this world.
Yeah.
Where the darkness is corrupting, and there are other creatures that are very simplistic, kind of Jar Jar Binksy type creatures in the game.
I totally forgot about this.
About the other characters in the world.
Thing. Oh my god.
He's like a villain. He works for the Dark Overlord. but at the same time he kind of wants to help Andy as well.
He reminds me of the guy from Raccoons, Cyril Sneer.
Right, yes, yeah.
Oh,
Disgusting.
Dark Overlord. Get back into
Horrible
it. Get back into it. You're not going to learn anything from the cutscenes. You're going to learn from the punishing puzzles.
Yeah. Well, I got to say that the music in the game was composed by the London Symphony Orchestra.
Oh yeah.
And was composed by Bruce Broughton. And he had written the soundtrack for many TV shows and films, including Harry and the Hendersons,
Nice.
The Monster Squad, Moonwalker,
Christ.
Tombstone, The Rescuers Down Under.
Yeah.
So lots of classics, lots of varied music, and the music in this game is so appropriate. And again, it feels like a Robert Zemeckis kind of movie soundtrack.
Yeah. Okay. You ain't gonna get.
Straight in the one, straight away dead.
Well, this is where an experience as a gamer, you just like save.
Yeah,
away,
save.
Come back.
Take a small break.
Right, yeah.
And then come back
because you've been chasing for ages, and there's no point score. There's no time limit. Or certain screens have time limits that you don't realise.
I should be keeping score of how many times you die, how many deaths per minute, Ian.
Man, you're okay, right, go wait for that.
Yeah, wait for the plant. Was it a plant? Is it a snake? What is it?
It's something. There we go. But luckily he was eating that green thing. You gotta wait for the green thing to come across. You can jump across.
And now multiple ones. And multiple ropes. I hated rope swinging. I hate rope swinging in all games. Because sometimes it's automatic, sometimes you jump, you swing past the rope, and your character just, grab it.
How do I get up then? Can I climb up? Oh, yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Over here, go for the rope.
I love all the animations of all of the creatures in the game. Like the shadow creatures, you never get tired of looking at them and their silly faces, the way that they move, the way that they kind of jump to avoid your projectile weapons.
It's knowing the timing.
Knowing the timing.
I don't know when to go.
It's the repetition and practice of the timing.
I don't want to die, but I don't want to go yet. Okay, right. Take your time, breathe.
Because a lot of the time you just have to do it in one.
I'm worried about the purple things and going by the black thing instead.
Yeah.
But like I said, now that I'm older, when I was younger, I would have been so annoyed, getting so stressed out, and just wanting to get back into something, another game. And before I knew it, other games that I thought were difficult just became easy. They just became so easy. You know, the Tomb Raiders, the Resident Evils. You know, I was pushing myself further and further on them because I didn't want to go back to this. All I did was move forward, move back.
You just needed to move and jump.
I know. Yeah, man, it's the wildebeest all over again.
Of course.
You get to the edge of the platform.
Inching your way across.
Okay. A's jump. Yeah. B sprint and.
So I think we're about 6 to 10 deaths per minute
on this one screen. Yeah.
Does he not just automatically just...
There's a space. Some jumps are longer than the others, and so you have to run and jump, or he will just not reach the end. Yeah. He won't grab it. He won't just flop his hands out. So, like with this, you can jump forward and grab the jump, but you don't want to miss
the fact that you also swing at double speed as well once you've grabbed hold of it.
Right. So now you climb up here. Knowing full well that when you die you're going to go back to that other jump sequence. So the timing is waiting for these snakes to go down.
Because if any of them are up there they will just eat you.
Shall I run and jump?
Maybe.
Should I? The questions are there. Okay, 1, 2. I didn't even jump. I hit the button.
You know, I kind of put it down to like in Tomb Raider, you know, all the interesting and fascinating ways you could kill Lara Croft. It's all of the different animations that they've put into this game for the way to kill off Andy, whether he's being swallowed whole by the shadow monsters, the snakes, whether he's falling from a great height, whether he's being chewed up, spat out, squashed by the environment, drowning. Yeah, all the sound effects and visual animations are there.
All for that dog. He needs his dog.
It's kind of a disturbing game for kids, but we kind of loved it.
Yeah. But it made you want to persevere even more, right? I'm gonna.
Is the fact that
I'm gonna try jumping
lives,
from
it doesn't
here.
have continues.
No, I can't jump.
It's
Look
just
at that
like,
spacing. You gotta know that spacing. Look, see that spacing? There's the rope coming in. He's not gonna make it from there. I don't think. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
I'm not. Oh, got it.
Wait, you didn't jump.
I was jumping. You already jumped twice. No, you see, and that's what pushes me even more because I'm like, I did it.
Yeah.
So now I've just got to try it even more. Go
now,
to
the moment you get onto that screen, just jump and swim to the surface.
Yeah.
Swim to the shore on the right hand side.
Right, sprint off. Okay, wait for the.
But that's it. When you make progress, you get to the next screen. You get to experiment, see what works, how to do it,
Everything
and then advance.
Comes a bit faster as well, and you just get to that next checkpoint.
This game gets brutal. I mean, it's difficult from the get-go, but this game gets brutally difficult towards the end.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, I don't want to go in this bit. I'm running.
Yeah.
And you can't run very fast.
No, because you're just going to get picked up. And what's he going to do? Split you in two? He's going to carry you away.
Fly me off. But
it's like the slugs or the worm creatures that come out on the walls later on in the game that just swallow you whole.
Go, duck.
So you managed to duck and
Yeah, duck.
Oh, yeah.
Go.
Gotta get to the other side.
Duck. Just checking. Duck. Metal Gear Solid though. You know, and like I said, just Metal Gear is like, I don't want to play Hard Darkness again, so I'm going to save Meryl this time.
So close.
So close.
I think you probably checkpointed though now that you're in the water. I don't.
Yeah, I got the one, but I don't know if it's at the start now of the water.
I think it probably will be. You won't have to do the jumping again.
No.
The ropes. So I do like the checkpoint system. I think it's fair.
I wasn't in the water enough.
You never really go back more than 3 screens. Like I think 2 or 3 at the most.
It's always like the start of a new puzzle. Like this is a puzzle now, so you got to time all of these guys' dives.
Although I did find that sometimes the checkpoints wouldn't trigger unless you defeated or killed all the enemies on previous screens. So sometimes the checkpoint wouldn't trigger.
Yeah.
And obviously your proton pack has been destroyed. It's been taken by the giant shadow monster.
Duck. Just in case.
But you will soon after this be upgraded with new powers.
Yeah.
And new abilities and new ways to kind of shape the environment to help with some of the puzzles.
There we go. Into the sunlight. Come back here and
You get given like a green power ball that you throw.
Yeah.
So you can also power it up for a more powerful shot.
And you after a while
you also use that to grow seeds, which grow into trees, which make climbable platforms for you. You can also then use your abilities to knock the environment around or change things.
Just to get past
the game.
Next
Also
puzzle.
does there's a couple of puzzles which are quite interesting, which actually requires you to use your shadow. Because the game's obviously all about the shadows. It's the shadow monsters that are attacking you.
Yeah.
And you're literally, your shadow that's in the background will be in reaching distance to push the shadow of something else, which actually affects its actual object. Which is just great. Yeah, it's just, the game is so creative and so imaginative, which is one of the reasons why you just want to keep playing.
Yeah.
That thing's been distracted now by eating that thing, so...
Yeah, well, I'm just trying... Yeah, I just didn't know if I could jump it, because there's this thing over here that looked like a thing to do.
No, I don't think so.
But there was a ledge up there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of led to something. But, yeah, just trying to work out what the next kind of puzzle, because...
Yeah, you got to wait for him to eat the green stuff.
Yeah, I do. I do. It's all timing. It's all timing, people. Timing and perseverance.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Get in there.
Then wait for him to eat it. He's distracted.
Right, okay, so now hit this. Oh, it
lets out loads and loads of them. I don't know if they come outside, but whether... No, it's nothing to do with out here.
Nope. Let him eat one.
Yeah. Nope, it's not. It's out of reach.
He wants the bigger ones.
There you go.
Right, okay, so then I
like
can
Venus flytrap things.
Can't run past him, can't
jump past him?
climb up. No, there's nothing past him on the screen, so I'm going to try going back here for that black button.
I can't remember what to do here.
No, that's the case. That's the thing, but it's on the screen. It's so completely obvious.
You
Like,
keep
well, there we
climbing
go.
up.
Yeah, I
There we
can climb up because now it's like, oh well.
Yeah, I mean, because you see the thing, you see things animated on the screen, and you're just like, that. Maybe that's a hint, that's a clue, and then sometimes it's not.
It's not. It's just a background. Oh,
Yeah.
see, like that thing. He's connected to that route down there.
Yeah. So does he need to be fed?
Okay, not grab and hold that.
No.
So maybe I try and pull this thing out of the way.
Maybe you can pull it down and bring the creature down. I can't remember.
That's what I'm going to try. But you got to try and persevere.
Yeah. Very good.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's a case of trial, error, repeat, experiment.
Save, turn off, take a breath, come back, persevere, trial, repeat, over and over again. And that is why I do recommend this game. Because if you're a gamer, you have to play this. It is tough and destructive on your soul. And
wait. That top one hasn't even.
I know. I'm waiting for him to grab one because I was waiting for it. It's just so awesome to watch and play. You know, waiting for the timing.
Yeah.
It's you know, everyone always wants to rush into a game, and like,
maybe you can just.
I need the other ones downstairs. I think I need to activate them so that they all float up more.
Maybe, yeah.
It's that everything links.
See, I love these early stages where you get the full screen, where it's just kind of single platform, like one stage.
Yeah.
Because later on, there's like multi-layered platforms where you have crawl spaces and buttons and levers.
Yeah.
And it just gets so convoluted, so brutally difficult. It's punishing. You know, the puzzles are straightforward, but actually achieving what you need to is, you know, especially when you've got your proton pack again later on and you're shooting at an enemy, and then it disintegrates into two pods, which will grow more enemies that you need to destroy before you just end up making more.
Yep, but it's all timing.
It is all timing.
Kill everything on that screen and move on to the next screen. Just like Doom.
I do and don't recommend this game. You know, I have the nostalgia for the game. I absolutely loved this game. I loved its art style. I loved the music, the sound effects, the death animations, the pure imaginative, creative freedom that the developers had. And it's just a shame that, you know, the studio didn't really make any more games. You know, what was left of them, or if it was even Eric Chahi, went on to Ubisoft and worked on From Dust in 2011, and that was really the very end of game development for them.
Wow.
Which, to me, it's just a real shame, because they showed such promise. You know, I would have loved to have seen what other games they would have been making today.
But they, you know, people needed to get past how difficult they were making their games.
Yeah, well, I mean, the game's difficult but fair.
Yeah.
You know? Like I said, it's kind of skill based. You know, but you do have to get lucky as well. Just like that.
Just like that. Just like that. Who's he going to go for?
But yeah, I always wanted to keep progressing with this game to see what the new environment would be like. Because, you know, the background animations, the color schemes, the monster types, they change every so often. You know, and the story. I wanted to save my dog.
Run!
You know?
Just got past
wanted to save Whiskey.
Yeah. Had to save your dog. Okay, can I push it?
I think you can.
No, you
maybe
can't.
you.
Climb up. Try to push this one instead. No.
Yeah,
there we go. Oh.
And then.
Oh, Christ!
You think you'd be crushed by all the rocks?
Yeah, I think I am going to get crushed by the rocks. I think it's all timing now.
And I think you're about to meet the. See some of the animations there. It's not the best. It's not aged very well. You know, some of the facial animations. He's trying his best to emote.
But it's like we said with D, though. It's the same thing. They didn't have the. Yeah. Imagine a remaster of this.
Right,
like they remaster all just the cut sequences, but they leave the game the way it is. Do it. Do it.
Yeah.
I'll play your game.
I want a Heart of Darkness too.
Yeah. Get away from this thing. Okay, swing. Run.
Like, this kid in real life, if it was real, it'd be so dead.
Man, why do you think I'm so awesome? Run. Swim.
Save the boy's life.
Swim for your life.
But yeah, you know, this is it's an amazing game. It really is. And so yeah, we've kind of resorted to emulating it at the moment. It's difficult sometimes to get the old PlayStation to transfer to PC and get it to talk successfully. But yeah, it's a shame that you can't really get this game anywhere else anymore. But it's a treasure. It really is. I definitely recommend checking it out if you can stomach the difficulty level of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, like I said, the game did very well on its release. Game Informer gave it an 8 out of 10.
Nice.
IGN, an 8 out of 10. GameSpot, a 7 out of 10. You know, all those fears of the game being stuck in development hell for 6 years and saying the game was dated, you know, it's just added to the charm. They perfected this game, and it was a full completion. of work when it was released. And so with that being said, I just want to say thanks for watching, everyone. We're back next Friday to look at another video game. Of course, do film reviews on Thursdays. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Patreon.
Yes.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.
I'm feeling good. I got the cut sequence. I kick ass.